Hey everybody, I'm Chef Tom with atbbq.com, and this is Beef Tallow Popcorn with smoked butter. Well, today we're cooking up a fun and easy snack. It's popcorn on the grill. Now, if you're like me, you probably grew up eating popcorn out of a microwaved paper bag, which was totally fine until you went to the movie theaters and found yourself wondering why it was so much better. Well, it turns out fresh popped popcorn tastes better than microwave popcorn. Who would have thought? Plus, it gives you a lot more control over the flavor and the cooking experience. Now, being that we are all things barbecue and we are cooking our popcorn on the grill, today we are going to cook our popcorn in beef tallow and finish it off with a drizzle of smoked butter. From there, the possibilities for the flavors are pretty endless, but we're gonna keep it pretty simple. We'll do one barbecue and one buffalo. So let's head over to the grill. Now later today, we're gonna pop our popcorn on the Kamado Joe Kettle Joe, but before we get the grill hot, we're gonna do the cold smoking process for the cold smoked butter. Now the smoke for our cold smoke is gonna come from oak pellets loaded into the amazing tube smoker. And we're gonna place this all the way down at the bottom of the Kettle Joe. We want the heat as far away from the butter as possible so that we're not melting the butter while we're smoking it. So all the way down here, where we normally would just be pulling out the ash, we'll let those pellets burn for just a minute before we blow that out. Now to keep things nice and cold inside the grill, we're gonna add an ice tray to put a little barrier, a cool barrier in between our butter and our smoke. This fits right on top of there. And what's gonna happen is that smoke's coming up from the bottom of the grill. As we close the lid, you'll see we create just enough draft. We can take this actually all the way off. So our air's all the way open, which means all that smoke's being pulled out. It's moving constantly to get a nice clean smoke on the butter. Well, the butter's been on for about an hour now, and with this sort of setup where our smoke is moving but not being forced through the grill, that's gonna be plenty of time for it to soak up some real smoke flavor. So that smoke's moving just enough to not become acrid, but slow enough that it has some time to attach pretty quickly. You'll even see around the edges the difference in those where the butter has been sitting, a bit darker around the edge and smoke outline. So we're ready to pull these off. But now that we're done with the cold smoking process, we're gonna go ahead and properly fire up this kettle. We're gonna load it up with some lump charcoal. Make sure we got some airflow and get a couple fire starters in here and let it get hot. Now the charcoal's hot. We've got the grates down low so we can be close to that heat source. I'm gonna place our Finex Dutch oven in here. We don't need the lid on for now, but we just want to get a little preheat going on here. So we're gonna come into the Dutch oven with our beef tallow. We've got a 1/4 cup of beef tallow. We're gonna add to that a 1/2 cup of our popcorn kernels as soon as this is melted. Doesn't look like much, but it's gonna go a long way. Immediately you can see it sizzling. We're gonna get the lid on there. We'll toss this around just a little bit, get those kernels coated, and we'll move this as it starts to pop to make sure everything stays coated in that tallow. Now here in the front of the grill, we'll put our smoked butter to melt down so we can drizzle that over the finished popcorn. We're a couple minutes in here, starting to hear that popcorn pop, hearing the sizzle going. Just gonna move things around just a little bit and let it keep going. The butter's looking good. Melted down. Move that out of the way. Still hear some kernels in there. Woo, not quite done yet. We're gonna wait until there's a good 4 or 5 seconds in between pops before we pull it off. All right, round 1 is done. I'm gonna empty this out and start over for a second round so we have a batch for each of our flavor profiles. I'll meet you guys back at the table to finish it off. All right, round 1, we're gonna add our smoked butter to the tallow popcorn, and we're gonna go with bovine bold, which is one of my favorite beef barbecue rubs. Just a little bit of sweetness to it, but not overly sweet. How much you add is totally up to you. I'm gonna say the right amount for this batch is about 1.5 tablespoons. And then we just wanna get this tossed and fully coated. Looks good. That's barbecue popcorn. That rub's great on there, but you can use any of your favorite barbecue rubs when you're going for your barbecue popcorn. The next one we're gonna get into though is the buffalo. All right, this batch is hot off the grill. Get the smoked butter drizzle. And then we're gonna use the Cosmos Q Wing Dust buffalo flavor. This stuff is like a super fine powder, which makes it great for this purpose, really. You can mix this stuff into your potato chips, put it directly on your wings, or popcorn is another great use. That one's where it's at. Yeah, this one's my favorite. The butter goes so well with the buffalo anyway, because you've always got butter in your buffalo sauce. And the tallow's not unnoticeable. I mean, it's definitely not one of those fats that you just completely don't taste. It's there. It adds something. But you know, there are endless possibilities. You don't have to use tallow. You could use pork fat, you could use lard, you could use bacon fat. One of my personal favorites is coconut oil. And then as far as seasonings go, any seasoning you've got in your pantry that you love to put on your food is probably gonna go great on popcorn. Well, thank you guys so much for watching. Be sure to check out atbbq.com for all the products featured in today's video. If you enjoyed the recipe, hit that subscribe button. And if you have any questions or comments, or there's anything you'd like to see me cook, let me know in the comment section down below, and let's be good to one another. For more recipes, tips, and techniques, head over to atbbq.com/thesauce. All things barbecue, where barbecue legends are made.